All right. How's everybody going? I'm back. This is part two, picking up from where we left off yesterday. Just wanted to elaborate a little bit more in regards to the topics at hand. Uh, your thoughts on child support, good or bad? I'd like to hear from you. Um, but with that being said, real quick before we go into that, again, I'm Miguel Taylor, as you can see at the bottom of the screen. Um, I represent 100 Forces. And if you'd like to know more about that, some of you that I invited obviously are going to know about it or have heard something about it. But if you haven't had a chance to go to the website, I recommend that you go to the website there, 100forces.org, there at the bottom of the screen. Go and look and get more information about child support, the child support system, and how we can help you in your child support situation. I do want you to know right out the gate that um, we do not represent the current child support that we are all familiar with. We're actually against what they stand for, what they represent. Um, However, we do emphasize and stand by the word child support, uh, and on top of that, we stand by family, mending the families together and things like that. So just to give you a brief description of what 100 Forces is and what it represents. However, like I said, I encourage you to go to our website, get some more information in regards to it. If you're an individual that needs to perhaps take advantage of those services on there, such as the child support modification, visitations, and things like that, you should go onto our website and click on uh, the sign up link at the top in the nav bar, and go ahead and sign up so that we can get your information and enter you into our database, and then we can go forward from there. Um, However, back to what I was talking about at first, the actual topics of this discussion. Um, I wanted to know your thoughts on child support, good or bad. Um, Also, I wanted to share with you just a little bit of my personal experience, and I won't get too deeply involved with my personal experience with child support, simply because I don't have enough viewers or people watching just yet, and I want to save that for when people are actually listening. But I will give you a brief description of that, as well as um, the damage that it's caused just in the nation itself, just in the United States itself. Uh, Child support is it's just it has a negative connotation to that word has a negative connotation. So we um, we don't agree with the way they currently do things. So uh, obviously I can't get your thoughts just yet. However, when this video does well, it's airing now, but if you see it and you have some thoughts, some opinions in regards to the child support system, I'd like to hear some. Uh, Real quick, too, just to add another topic to this whole segment. It's not in the description, but however, I do recall earlier today I kind of went back and forth briefly with a young lady on Facebook in regards to that's another thing. You can go to our Facebook page. It's titled "The New Child Support System," and you can get some information there. We kind of update child support stories frequently in our news feed. We're just constantly putting stuff in there in regards to child support and what they're doing, which I think is vital to what we're trying to do, and for those people, those individuals that actually want to take advantage of our services. So anyhow, there was a topic that I was going back and forth with a young lady on Facebook, and in fact, I'm going to invite her in this room and see if she's going to be willing to join us, because I'd like to hear what she'd have to say in regard. I'm looking up because I have another monitor up here, so just bear with me for a second here. Let me see if I can get some attention from this young lady. Almost done. Give me just a second. All right. Let's see. It's kind of late here. I'm broadcasting from Kansas City, Missouri, in the Midwest here. So I mean, it's kind of late. It's 11 p.m. You know, it'd be great if she's still up and she wants to chime in and voice her opinion. But anyhow, I had a conversation with her about a particular subject that I posted on the news feed, and that subject was, it said, should parents be jailed for failing to pay child support? And I put no, obviously, because I'm against that. I put no. And she turned around and she said yes. So it just, obviously there was a difference there, and it kind of sparked, well, I tried to spark a little conversation with her. However, she didn't really respond back and go into details or anything like that while she said yes. So I want to see if she'd be willing to come on the show and come on here live with us and talk to us about, her opinions in regards to that. But I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. Do you think that parents should be jailed for not being able to pay their child support debt? Do you think they should go to jail because they can't pay that? I'd like to know if you received an invite or you're just watching right now. Just leave a comment in regards to that in the comment section, and let's talk about it. Let's open up some conversation in regards to that. However, I don't want to talk too long all night. I like to get on here. Just started using Hangout, so I like to get on here. I want to start getting familiar with this process and start to do this, at least once a week or something like that, unless something comes up that's going to require me to be on here more often. However, again, so I had a personal experience with child support, and I stressed this. Not necessarily stressed. I talked about this in the last video that I put up, and I have a problem with how child support handled my child support case with them. I have this thing about having like open lines of communication with anybody that I'm typically dealing with, and I think that's the right thing to do. You should have open lines of communication. Now, child support enforcement, Division of Child Support Enforcement. That's a business. Therefore, they render some sort of customer or client service for individuals that are paying child support and individuals that are receiving child support. However, I'm sure I'm not the only one that thinks this, but they're somewhat biased with those individuals that are paying child support. And I have a problem with that. You call, sometimes you get a lot of attitude from these women that are answering the phones. And my conclusion to that is that they themselves are custodial parents and receiving child support, and may have had some sort of interaction with perhaps a deadbeat dad, or they're hurt because of their situation. I don't know. I'm just assuming, speculating that might be the case with them. So anyhow, having open lines of communication with child support from day one, when I put myself on child support, and then when I had a change of lifestyle and things changed for me, took custody of my youngest son, and which is a completely different case. However, I thought I should throw that in there. I took custody of him, and I discharged from the United States Navy, and I kept open lines of communication with them. Obviously, I asked for a modification, and they told me what I needed to do, and I complied accordingly, and I did not receive the services that I should have received, and therefore it put me in debt to child support quite a bit. because I wasn't making the same amount of money, obviously. And that's why I called them. I also called the custodial parent and informed her of my lifestyle change. And it's just terrible. So I actually have court next week as well to hopefully address that and the custody situations. So and this is what 100 Forces is about. So I've been dealing with this for a while, and I'm not the type of person, like I stated in the last video, to just sit down and let something happen and not try and stand up and do something different to make a change, you know, for the better, because I know I'm not the only victim of child support and what they've done to me. I know this has happened personally with other people because I've talked to other people in regards to their cases, and I know that I'm not the only one that this happened to. So it's just time that something is done in regards to this problem, this nuisance that they have on people, so that they have with people, particularly the non-custodial parent. So again, that's a whole nother story. I wanted to give you a brief introduction to it because, like I said, when I get more viewers and I know people are paying attention, then I'll elaborate on that. There's no reason for me to sit on here right now for hours or, you know, a lot of time and talk. And I don't have many listeners just yet. So share this information with other individuals that you know that are dealing with some child support issues. Share this with them and get them involved. When I see them or hear from them, or they like my status or something like that on Google Plus, I'll reach out to them and have open lines of communication with them too. And just one more thing in closing, again, reiterating the problems that child support has and what it's done, like how the system is pretty much damaged a good portion of like Americans and stuff like that, and particularly the black community. And it's just time, like, we stand up and we do something different about it. You know, not having a father figure in a house so that you can receive government assistance and things like that, because the dad of the children he may be poor, he doesn't have a job, or sometimes these guys have criminal records, you know what I mean? But still, they love their kids, and the government just kicks them out the house in order for the custodial parent to receive some sort of welfare for the child. Which, I mean, I'm all for that. I understand that, but why does dad have to go? Why can't the family struggle together? You know, that's part of the marital vows, you know, when you get married and things like that. So, you know, I don't understand why the male figure has to be kicked out of the home. But that's like one problem, and it's a domino effect because of that type of problem. But you know, I'd like to go more in detail about, you know, those things, those 3 topics there, maybe 4, you know, because of the parents being jailed because they can't pay their child support. That's another topic that we can maybe elaborate on for a little bit when we get more viewers and listeners or whatnot. But however, I wanted to give a shout out to Calvin Mann in Detroit for what he's doing and what he represents there. I'm friends with him on Facebook, and I pay attention to you, Calvin, periodically. You know, the information that you post pretty much on a daily basis, and your Emmy Foundation, I believe I'm assuming it's a nonprofit organization. However, regardless of the fact, I like what it stands for, Calvin, and I wanted to give you guys a shout out up there. There's another group in Atlanta, Georgia. I haven't spoke with the well, I talked via Facebook in the chat, obviously, with the I would imagine it was the owners of a group called Man Up Worldwide, I believe that's the name, and their stage. They're in Atlanta, Georgia, and I like what they represent too. And I believe that's manupworldwide.com. You can go check them out. And Calvin, I do apologize. Let's see here. I want people to know. Here we go. You can go check out what Calvin is doing in Detroit. They're doing some amazing things there with his group. Here it is, I believe. Well, it's called Good Fathers Only. And if you Google Good Fathers Only and perhaps Detroit, they should come up. So I wanted to salute you guys and for what you're doing. And pretty much we're all in the same boat as far as what we represent and what we stand for. And ultimately it's fatherhood. And secondly, and I'm really not in no particular order, it's about the family as well. So based on the content that I see that these guys are posting on a daily basis, they represent exactly that, the fatherhood and the family and things like that. So go check them out. And so if you like this video, send me a message or something like that. Let me know that you listened to it. And I'd like to go more in detail on a future date about 100 Forces. You'll hear it from the source. You'll also hopefully one day I can get Calvin and get the gentleman in Atlanta with Man Up Worldwide on air too with us, and we can collaborate collectively and get an audience in here. So you guys keep doing what you're doing. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Again, I'm Miguel Taylor. I'm representing 100 Forces, and I thank everybody for their time. If you listen to this recorded video, I do appreciate your time. Thank you very much. You have a good night or a good day whenever it is you listen to this video. Thank you very much. God bless.